So good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our week 3 class meeting for module 156. How are y'all liking chapters 3 and 4? I know we got the exam tomorrow. New students that started this week, you are exempt from that exam. So please don't stress out about that.
I feel like
the sim chart.
I like the sim chart. Like I really like it more than coding.
Oh yeah,
I feel like it's much easier.
absolutely. I'm with you. Like I said, it's really hard to jump into the middle of coding and get a good grasp on things and move forward. But the way y'all are starting right now in this module, it's really a good place to start. If you can't start at the very beginning, it's the better place to start because you're not jumping into the middle of coding. But that's just the way our module goes around. So I'm going to share my screen so we can get to the
Miss Brandy,
presentation. Yes, ma'am.
can you hear me now?
I can.
Awesome sauce. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, Darrenisha.
You're welcome.
All right, so our week 3 class meeting for chapters 3 and 4. We're going to start off as always with today's agenda. All right, so we're going to go through some brief announcements, just 2 or 3. We're going to talk about sim chart access again because I think I still got a couple of y'all that are not in there. And we're going to do a quick review on chapters 3 and 4. More on 3 than 4 because 4 focused a lot on that sim chart stuff. So there's not a lot for me to really preach about on that, so to speak. But we are gonna answer any questions y'all may have in regards to it. So let's go ahead to announcements. All right. Graduation is Friday, May the 5th at 6 p.m. at the Cajun Dome Convention Center. And I did find out this week that there was a cutoff. So there may have been some of y'all, I told y'all that this would be your graduation, and it's actually not. It's not going to be until the fall. I did not know that there was a date cutoff to participate in that graduation ceremony. I think they did that because we didn't get to have a fall one. So there's a lot of people that needed to graduate. There's going to be a Zoom change. Unexpectedly, my daughter is not going to be in her after school program after the 31st of this month. So I will be needing to go at 3 o'clock and pick her up from school. So our Zoom is going to change to 2 p.m. It's still going to be on Thursdays, but I'm changing it from 3:30 to 2 p.m. And that's starting on 4/6 of 23. Not this coming week, but the week after. We're moving to 2 o'clock.
Miss Brandy, so what's the cutoff date for graduation? Like,
I do not know what it was. They gave me a list of who was graduating and asked me to confirm GPAs. And I noticed that a lot of people I thought were going to be on there were not.
am
So
I?
I'm not sure exactly what the date was, but if you're supposed to be in that graduation, they should have contacted you already.
No, I haven't got anything.
Anybody, I'm pretty sure it was close to the end of the year though. I think they cut it off like December, January. So
I started in August.
But it goes by your finish date.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes by your finish date. No problem. No problem. I'll see if I can't find out what that date is and see if I can post something in news and announce. Yeah, Jamie, I think you were one of those.
You also confirm for me too, Ms. Brandy, because I haven't been reached out as well.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
I will everybody who's got finish dates within like the first 6 months of this year, January to like May or June, I'll get in touch with y'all and let y'all know what I find out. But yeah, I did not know there was a cutoff date, y'all. Sometimes I feel like I'm the last person to know stuff. The instructors, like it trickles down to us and we're almost last. All right, and then our last and final announcement, you guys are gonna have your chapter 3 and 4 exam on tomorrow. For my new students, the ones that just started this week, that's who I'm counting as new students, the one who just started this week. And there are 8 of y'all. Y'all do not have to take the exam tomorrow, but there is a short essay in the lab that I do want you to do. But don't worry about the exam. I know it's going to say it's open to you, and then it's late. I'm going to close those and drop that grade. So do not stress about the exam, new students. And my other students, I know y'all are going to do just fine. Y'all killed it on the chapter 1 and 2 exams. And I know some of y'all had retakes that I have not graded yet. That's because I normally grade on Mondays and Tuesdays. And like I said, with 8 new starts in SimChart, it just has not happened. I just have not had a chance to look at grades very much this week so far. I'll catch it up over the weekend, y'all. All right. So let's talk real quick. I would say about 95% of my students have gotten into SimChart and are in there. If you are not in there yet, if you are still having problems, I need to know, and I need y'all to contact me ASAP. We've got to get you figured out because you are officially behind. We started, some of the SimChart exercises beginning of the week, late last week. So you are officially behind and you need to get caught up, because I'm going to say it one more time, y'all. You cannot pass this module or the next one without SimChart. It's just, it's not going to happen. It's too big a part of everything for these modules. So get with me before the weekend. If you can't get with me this evening, maybe sometime tomorrow, so we can get you worked out. And if we have to work on it over the weekend, y'all, because work schedules, that's fine. Y'all know I don't mind working around work schedules. So but you got to get in touch with me. Let me know, okay? All right, so let's talk a little bit about chapter 3, review some important points that we had going on. Chapter 3 was on privacy, confidentiality, and security. And they focused most of the chapter on HIPAA, which is your Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, okay? And you'll see on our lovely little thing, in your textbook, it says HIPAA was brought about to address the issue of protecting healthcare information in the electronic age when electronic transmission of data became possible, more people had much easier access to health information, and this information could just as easily be shared inappropriately. In response, Congress passed the HIPAA of 1996. Okay, so HIPAA deals, just like chapter 3's title, with privacy, confidentiality, and security, okay? And it basically puts in place, what it did was it put in place a set of standards or mandates that people in the health industry have to follow with regard to a patient's personal health information, or their PHI, as y'all saw it called in the book. All right, and when you go to work in a doctor's office or a hospital, clinic, outsourced billing, wherever you work, it doesn't matter where you work, you are going to have annual HIPAA training. There will be a day every single year where you get sat down by your HIPAA compliance officer of your company, and you will get retrained on HIPAA once a year without fail. Okay, because it's that important. They harp on it because it's that important. It's important to, number one, secure this information. And y'all read in the chapter about there's different ways. There's physical security, digital security, encrypting, having locked doors. And I've never worked anywhere in a billing atmosphere, guys, that wasn't locked up like Fort Knox. You had to have a code to enter the building or a badge or something. Joe Blow off the street could not walk in there. Somebody had to let you in for your job interview, stuff like that. And that's all to protect HIPAA, and then, it's important for people's health information to not be disclosed when they don't want it to be, and therein comes the confidentiality and the privacy security of it, or those aspects of it. we have to keep confidential the information that we have privy to, so to speak. Our patients are trusting us, and we have to live up to that and do what we have to do. And HIPAA can be the reason companies harp on it is because I've seen like Blue Cross have a HIPAA violation, millions of dollars, y'all. HIPAA violations cost companies and offices millions of dollars a year. And I mean, millions upon millions. Like I've seen some violations as high as $10-15 million for one company for one breach, because it was leaked to that many people. It compounds. So it can put somebody out of business. It really can. So you want to avoid that at all costs. So you'll get trained on that every single year as to what you're allowed to do and what you are not allowed to do in regard to HIPAA. All right. So let's talk real quick. I did a little video about patient rights under HIPAA. But let's go over them, a few of them real quick, some of the important points. Okay, so patients have certain rights under HIPAA with regards to their health information in their health record, right? They have the right to see it and view it. But like we've discussed, they don't own that health record, right? The doctor's office who created it owns it. So the doctor's office can file a reasonable, see my quotes, reasonable fee to the patient to give them a copy of their records, because it does take time and resources to, get it to them. So they can charge a fee, but that patient, they cannot deny the patient their health record. And even if the patient owes them money, they still cannot deny them their health record. Just because they have an outstanding bill does not mean you can deny them records. That is not the way that works. Okay, so let's see. To have anything that inaccurate information corrected. Of course, they have the right to have it corrected. You want that to be as accurate as possible, right? You don't want your current doctor to go read an inaccuracy from your previous doctor and give you the wrong medication. Or your insurance company, if they list a disease on there that you don't actually have, that could affect your insurance premiums or whatever else. So a lot can go wrong with that if their health record is inaccurate. So they definitely have the right to get anything fixed. All right, there's a couple of them that kind of go together. Receive a notice of privacy practices, opt out of sharing certain information with certain people, have certain information withheld from certain third parties, and receive a list of disclosures of his or her health information. Those all kind of go together because they kind of get lumped into the new patient packet. When a patient goes to a provider for the first time, they'll sign a privacy notice and be given a copy of it. They'll sign an opt-out notice, and they'll sign a release authorization detailing who is allowed to be given their personal health information, who's allowed to call and inquire, who's not specific, like they get to name who their information gets shared with and does not get shared with. All right, so and like I said, most offices take care of that first time the patient comes into the office. They have them sign all that stuff, and then they scan that paperwork in, and that goes into their health record. That's part of it. And into the EHR system. All right, and last but not least, they have the right to file a complaint if they feel that their doctor's office or provider's office has violated their rights under HIPAA or in regard to HIPAA by letting their information out there. I've not seen that happen, thank goodness, knock on wood. I've not seen that happen, but it's something that you have the right to do, they have the right to do. Anybody who goes to the doctor and feels that their rights have been violated, they can file a complaint. And here's the thing, it's not like some other systems where they can complain and nothing gets done about it. They file a complaint, it's going to be investigated for sure. So let's keep our patients happy. All right. So another thing they talked about, but they didn't go into it in very good detail, I felt like in the textbook, was covered entities versus business associates. All right. So under HIPAA, and you'll see I have a little chart here, and I took that directly from the textbook. And that's a chart of all covered entities, okay? Your provider's office, your health insurance company, your clearinghouse where your claims are getting processed, hospitals, all your different facilities, those are all considered covered entities under HIPAA, okay? They are basically a person or a place that provides healthcare services. Those are your covered entities essentially, or deal with the paying of claims like your health insurance companies in your clearinghouse, okay? Now, business associates, and I didn't see them talk in the textbook about this more, and that's kind of the more I want to talk to y'all about, is what a business associate is and who qualifies as a business associate. Because this is one of those things that your HIPAA compliance officer is going to test you on in your annual HIPAA training. They're going to want to make sure you know who's a covered entity and who is a business associate. And a business associate is any corporation or business that works with a covered entity directly. These business associates must sign an agreement when they get hired on to do whatever job they're doing for the healthcare provider or hospital facility, whatever it is. They've got to sign a business agreement. If they don't want to sign the business associate agreement, they don't get that work. They don't get the job, period. There's no negotiating it. Either you sign it or you don't. So either you work there or you don't. But that's totally up to them. I've never seen anybody not do it though. I mean, it's basically they just sign saying that any personal health information they come across, they will not spread it about or disclose it in any way, shape, or form. So example of business associates would be like a janitorial service that cleans your office after hours, your gardeners, landscapers, that type of thing. And then every doctor's office, outsourced billing company I've ever worked for has had shred companies that will come in. You guys read about purging documents. The rule is you have to keep it for 6 years, the claims documentation and all of that. So once a month, this was normal work task for me for 4 years, was once a month, and we would rotate who did it, each month. But 2 or 3 people would get together and we go through about 20 filing cabinets and we would pull out files to be purged that were 6 years old or older, or whatever the retention policy for that particular office was. Some of them were different than the minimum, that's necessary. We had a couple of surgeons who wanted to keep stuff longer in case of malpractice suits or things like that. So we would keep those longer. But once a month, we'd go through and pull all the files that were 6 years old and shred them. We'd take them apart and put them in a shred bin, and the shred company comes and picks those up. I worked for an office we had about 10 shred bins throughout the entire building. It was massive, one shred day. But that company had to sign a business associates agreement saying that, anything they come across, they would not disclose in any way, shape, or form. They keep everything confidential. All right, so any questions up to this point about HIPAA, patients' rights, providers' rights, covered entities, business associates, any of that? The chapter was pretty thorough about everything, I felt like, but the business associate part of it. I felt like they could have gone into a little bit more, look at that pumpkin, a little bit more detail about that. But any questions up to this point? No? No, y'all feel like y'all have a pretty good understanding of what HIPAA's for and why it was put there and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Good deal. Good deal. Fantastical. Fantastical. I think that was it for chapter 3. Yeah. So your chapter 4 was administrative use of the health record. And it's mostly walking y'all through the different EHR exercises and how to complete those tasks in SimChart. So there's not a whole lot I can really lecture on about that. I can't answer any questions you have about SimChart or any of the exercises you're trying to complete. I will address one thing first though, guys. I know that some of the exercises have asked y'all to find a patient named Jenny Adams. And Jenny Adams cannot be found in the system, even though she's supposed to be there. So just pick a different patient to perform the task on. Here's the deal. I'm not so much worried about what patient you're performing that task on that it's asking you to complete. I need to know that you can complete the task. Because if you can complete it for Jenny Adams, you can do it for whoever else is in that system, right? I just need to know that you can complete the exercise that they asked you to complete. It doesn't matter what patient you do it for. So if you can't find one, don't stress out about it. Don't spend a lot of time looking for them. If they're not coming up under that name or birth date, then let's move on and just do it for somebody else. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I noticed that actually in the book, some of the dates of birth are different from what they have already in SimChart. The date of birth in SimChart is this complete, like the years.
Give me just 1 second, y'all. Okay, sorry about that. My laptop was about to die and I had to plug it in. Yes, I have spotted several inaccuracies in there. That's why I try to search for it both ways, by just the name, just the date, by just one of the names, and then maybe a combination of all three. Try it several different ways, and if you're not coming up with that patient, don't stress about it. And don't stress about the little inaccuracies you're gonna find either. Like I said, we need to know that you guys are getting through the tasks and you're completing those tasks. Like I said, SimChart is very much like any software you're going to see in any medical office. Okay. They all have the same functions and they function the same way. They might look a little bit different style wise. Some of them are a little more dressed up than others, but they all function the exact same way and do the same things because every office needs the same things done, right? We need patient demographic management. We need to be able to take notes and correspond. We need to be able to file claims. We need to have their forms there. So it all works the same way. So, and that's what makes it great. If you don't have any medical office experience and you finish this program and a potential employer asks you, do you have any experience working on an EHR or EMR system? You'll say, yeah, we did SimChart in my program and I got 6 to 8 weeks of experience on an EHR system. So that's the whole point of it, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Any questions about SimChart or any of the exercises that y'all been working on?
I've actually got a question on our lab for today, but I can wait to the end of class for that one.
No,
For the end of this.
go for it.
Well, give me just a second, pull it back up then.
Yeah, let me get to it too.
Let's see, it was on number 4, if I am correct. Oh, okay. So in the book, it just, unless I'm not seeing it, it just lightly touches on the different types of visits, like the wellness visit, the comprehensive visit and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm kind of confused on which one to go with under certain circumstances. Like, I think one of the examples is a guy comes in for problems with his sleep.
Okay.
And me having absolutely no medical background.
I got you. I can clear this up for you really easily. All right.
All right.
So anytime they're coming in with a specific problem, it's not going to be a wellness visit. A wellness visit is just when they come in for routine, like a kid's inoculations, or immunizations and stuff like that. A woman needs to have a yearly pap smear, so that's considered a wellness visit. At a certain age, men have to have a colonoscopy every so often. Those are considered wellness visits at that point. When it's considered a routine procedure or service, then it's generally considered a wellness visit.
Okay. So if it's just specific one thing and
yeah, like I'm coming in because I just can't sleep. No, that's a regular regular visit.
And then my
So-
other question, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. I'm kind of the same question too, because whenever I read that one, I think it said something about that he was getting an examination. So it still would be a visit, or would be like something under exam.
It would still be considered an office visit, a regular office visit. Generally the when they do like a physical exam, they do that anytime they're trying to confirm any kind of diagnosis. Like the patient goes in for a specific problem, they're gonna almost always do a general physical exam, blood pressure, vital signs, that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, they do. I mean, different types of, there's certain, like, okay, your pap smear is considered an exam, a type of exam, right? But that's a yearly routine thing. So it's considered a wellness visit. But yeah, they can do exams, whether it's a wellness visit, a regular visit, those can all include an exam of some sort.
All right. Okay, because I'm trying to get back over here on the sim chart because normal visit wasn't on my list of visits that I could schedule for people. I had
Okay,
a new and
established.
And
established
comprehensive.
visits and comprehensive, right?
Okay,
So I wasn't quite sure which one of those two. If it's not going to be the wellness, which would have been my guess, and I guess wrong, but which one would that be?
established.
Established. Okay.
As long as, yeah, if the patient had been there before, it'd be an established patient visit.
Okay. And if it was a new patient, it'd be a new patient. I got you.
Right.
And then my main question about the lab for today was on the correspondence where you write the memorandum,
Mm-hmm.
who am I sending that to? Do I have to put a CC on it? And this is just like me
should,
just typing it to the office or
They
what?
should list all that right there. If I'm not mistaken, like they walk you through it step by step as to if you need to put a CC or who needs to be put where. Was it not
Okay.
was that not the case?
No,
for the
ma'am. It just
memorandum?
said use this email. And it listed an email address email address. And then that was pretty much all it said. It told you what to put in the message.
Then
It
that's
told you
it.
what time it was going to be. And when it said who it was for, it was pretty much any available employee.
Gotcha.
So I was just kind of,
I used the email that they had on there. I sent it from that email and to that email.
Yeah, and that works. That
Me
works.
too.
Yeah, if they want something specific there, they'll let you know. They'll tell you specifically who or what to put there. And if they don't mention anything, don't worry about it. Just leave it blank.
So we actually send it right in SimChart because it doesn't say in the instructions to send the email, but I mean I still send it. I just want to make sure
You
it.
can. It's not good. I mean, it's simulated, so it's not going to go anywhere. So
Okay.
if you want to go through the motions, then by all
Right.
means,
Okay.
absolutely.
all right. So you just need a screenshot of that uploaded or?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep. All right. Awesome questions, guys. I love it. I love it. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So for those of y'all that have never worked in a medical office setting before, SimChart is going to be something to get used to. It will be, especially if you're not real tech savvy. It can be something to get used to because it's a serious piece of software and database system, right? So, all right. Anybody else got any awesome questions for me? No? All right. Well, as y'all think of them throughout the week or weekend, whenever, shoot me a text, let me know. I'm always here. Y'all know that. And if y'all don't have anything else from me, guys, that's all I've got for y'all today. I did tell y'all about Zoom time changing. Yeah, that was in the announcements. Okay. Just making sure I got my bases covered. All right, folks. Well, if that's it, then y'all have a blessed end of your week and an awesome weekend. Stay safe, healthy, make good choices. And I'll see y'all next week.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thanks, Miss Brandy. Bye.
Yes, as always, thank y'all for your time. Y'all know I appreciate it.
Thank you, Miss Brandy.
Bye.